Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Shankaram Loka Shankaram Apara Karuna Sindhum Jnanadam Shanta Rupinam Shri Chandrasekhara Gurum Pranamami Udan Vaham.
Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Shankaram Loka Shankaram Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Padyantam Vande GurorMandalam. With the abundant blessings of our Acharya Swamiji, we are now in the third week of Vande GurorMandalam, Adi Shankara Bhagavad Stotras. And we are now in Shivananda Lahari, Shloka number 65.
Periva Sharanam. Vakshastadana Vichalito Vaivasvato Nirjaraha Kotirojvala Ratnadipakalika Nirajanam Kurvate Društva Muktivadhustanoti Nibhruta Shlesham Bhavani Pate Yachetastava Pada Padma Bhajanam Tasyeha Kim Durlabham.
Last line, Yet Chetaha Tava Pada Padma Bhajanam Tasya Ihe Kim Durlabham. Yet Chetaha, whose mind Tava Pada Padma Bhajanam is engaged in worshipping your lotus feet, Tasya for him, Ihe on this earth, Kim Durlabham, what is difficult to attain. There is nothing difficult to attain for one who is engaged in worshipping your lotus feet. Now he is explaining this concept. Something which is completely beyond our imagination, he is saying that is not Durlabham, that is not at all difficult to attain. Vakshastadana Shankaya Vichalito Vaivasvataha. Vaivasvataha is Yamadharma Raja. He is the son of Vivaswan. Vivaswan is Surya. He is Surya's son. So he is known as Vaivasvataha. Now we have seen in the previous sloka how Shiva gave him a kick with his foot on his chest when Yama went to pick up Markandeya. Now Vakshastadana Shankaya. Now with the same doubt. Shanka means doubt, fear. Doubt, Shanka also means fear. So with the same fear that he will be hit on his chest, now he is afraid. Vichalitaha, he is afraid. He is shaken. Vichalitaha means he is shaken. Yama is shaken on seeing whom? No, not only on seeing Parameshwara, on seeing this devotee. On seeing this devotee who is dedicated to Parameshwara's lotus feet, Yama is shaken because this devotee himself has the power to hit Yama on his chest, just like Parameshwara does. That is what he is worried about. Nirjaraha kotirojjvala ratnadipakalika Nirajanam kurvate. Nirjaraha devas. Amara nirjara devaha. Like that starts Amara Kosham. The first line itself is various paryaya sabdas, synonyms of devas. Amara nirjara devaha. Nirjara means one who does not have old age. Jara is old age because they are always 16. Devas are always 16 years of age. So those devas, Kotirojjvala Ratnadeepa Kalika. Kotira is the edge of the crown which they are wearing. The sharp edge of the crown which they are wearing, that is that they are coming and prostrating. So that looks like Ujjvala Ratna Deepa Kalika Nirajanam. It looks like Nirajanam, waving the line before Bhagavan. That it looks like Nirajanam with a Deepa. What Deepa is this? This Kotira is the Deepa. The Kirita, the edge of the Kirita is the lamp. Now, Vijjvala Ratna Deepa Kalika, because lamps are also, some people have beautiful gold and gem-studded lamps. That is how these crowns are. So, they are also Ujjvala Ratna Deepa. That looks like as if it is a lamp, gem-studded, very bright, extremely shining. Deepa Kalika, Kalika is a bud because if we are talking about the edge of the crown, which is looking like Nirajanam. Because you see, when they are prostrating, the crown is in a horizontal position. So the edge, it looks like the shine which comes from the Navaratnas in the edge looks like Nirajanam. So it looks like a small lamp. So bud of a lamp, Deepa Kalika, see how beautifully he describes. Nirajanam kurvate. Devas come and do this for Parameshwara. They are also doing for this devotee because they are also afraid of this devotee. Supposing this devotee goes and tells Parameshwara, tomorrow onwards, you please change this Devendra, he is unfit. Then what will happen to Devendra? So they are worried about this possibility. Drishtva mukti vadhu stanoti nibhrita shlesham bhavani pate. O Bhavani pate, consort of Bhavani, Drishtva, on seeing this devotee, Mukti Vadhu Tanoti Nibhrita Ashlesham. Mukti Vadhu, the woman called liberation. The woman called liberation, Nibhrita Ashlesham Tanoti. Ashlesham is embracing. She does the embrace, Tanoti. She gives the embrace to this bhakta. What kind of embrace? Nibhrita Ashlesham. Nibhrita means firm and constant. That is, Mukti will never leave you. It will be always with you, constantly with you, and it will be firmly with you. So you will not be distracted by anything mundane. So you will be Jivan Mukta, a person who is liberated even while in body, human body, is known as Jivan Mukta. Now you will become that Jivan Mukta because the woman called Mukti comes and embraces you, and she gives you a very firm and constant embrace. So, if your mind has attached itself to the lotus feet of Parameshwara, then what is impossible to attain? If you have attained all this, including mukti, what is there more to attain? So, Yama, the son of Surya, Vivaswan, is afraid of getting hit on his chest, so he is shaken. Devas, when they prostrate, the tips of their crowns, which are gem-studded, gold and beautifully shining, they look like they are doing Nirajanam with a small lamp, the bud of a lamp. Lamp is also gem-studded and very shining. Now, on seeing this devotee, the woman called liberation gives him an embrace which is constant and which is firm. O Bhavani Pate, for thee, all this happens to one whose mind is devoted to worship of your lotus feet. For him, what is difficult to attain in this world? Nothing is difficult to attain. Vakshastadana shankaya vichalito vaivasvato nirjaraha otiro ratna deepakalika virajanam kurvate दृष्ट्वा मुक्तिवधूस्तनोति निभृता शेषं भवानी पते यच्चेतस्तव पादपद्मभजनं तस्येह किं दुर्लभम्.
क्रीडार्थं सृजसि प्रपञ्चमखिलं क्रीडामृगास्ते जनाः यत्कर्माचरितं मया च भवतः प्रीत्यै भवत्येव तत् शम्भो स्वस्य कुतूहलस्य करणं मच्चेष्टितं निश्चितं तस्मान्मामकरक्षणं पशुपते कर्तव्यमेव त्वया.
Now he is telling Shiva that Shiva has got a duty to protect him, duty to protect the devotee. He is giving a reason. Readartham srijasi prapancham akhilam. You are creating this entire prapancha. Prapancha is universe made of 5 elements. That is why it's called prapancha. So akhilam prapancham, all this universe, srijasi, you are creating. Why you are creating? Readartham, only for sport. You want to have a nice time, you want to enjoy, for sport you are creating this. Krida mrigaste janaha. All the people here are your favorite sporting animals. You want to play with animals, so you have created all these like animals. You have created a variety of living beings, so you want to play with a variety of animals. Yat karma charitam maya cha bhavataha prityai bhavatyeva tat. In this context, when you have created for your pleasure the world, and you have created the beings for your pleasure, like play animals, then whatever these animals do naturally will be to your pleasure, because you will not allow them to do something which you don't like. Because after all, it is your creation. You have created for your pleasure. Will you allow them to do something which is not to your pleasure? No. Yat karma charitam maya cha bhavataha prityai bhavatyeva tat. Yat karma acharitam maya. Whatever karma has been done by me, whatever action has been done by me, that karma bhavataha prityai bhavati eva. It has to be for your pleasure only. Eva is emphasis. This karma has to be only for your pleasure. It is for only your pleasure. Bhavati means it is. It is only for your pleasure. Shambho swasya kutuhalasya karanam maccheshtitam nishchitam. Swasya kutuhalasya, O Shambho, for your pleasure, for your entertainment. Whatever I do, maccheshtitam, whatever I do, all my action is a cause of your entertainment. Kutuhalasya karanam, karanam is the cause, is the cause of your entertainment. On this there is no doubt. Nishchitam, this is definite, that whatever I do has to be for your pleasure only. Tasman mamakarakshanam pasupate kartavyameva tvaya. Hence, tasmat, for this reason, mamakarakshanam, protecting me, kartavyam, tvaya kartavyam eva, has to be done by you. There is no alternative. Kartavyam means must, you must do, it must be done. So it must be done by you, there is no alternative. Oh Pashupate, you are the protector of all animals, and you have created all these animals for your pleasure, and these animals cannot do anything which goes against your will, hence you have a cause for protection. So does it mean that all of us will enjoy the protection of Parameshwara, we have nothing more to worry? It doesn't mean that. It means he is giving a very deep theory behind this very light statement. The theory is that if you become a Krida Mriga in the hands of Parameshwara, then this theory applies to you. If you become a sporting animal, like a toy, like a sporting animal would do in the hands of the proprietor, if you surrender yourself completely, if you exercise no will of your own, for us, Bhagavan has given something called mind and intellect. Now we use our mind and intellect to decide our actions. So once you have done that, actually your actions are according to your will, not Parameshwara's will. So whereas the Krida Mriga, the sporting animal, will do all its actions according to the will of the master. But here you have the freedom to do what you like. So this does not apply to ordinary people. It applies to only those who have completely surrendered themselves to the will of the Lord. Oh Pashupate, you are creating this world, entire Panchabhautika universe for your pleasure, for your sport. And all beings which you have created are your pleasure sport animals. Whatever. So I am also one of those animals. So now he is turning to himself. First was a general statement about all beings. Now he is making a statement about himself. So whatever action has been done by me, it is only for your pleasure. There is no doubt about it. Because whatever I do has to be the cause of your delight, entertainment. It has to be like that. So this is definite. Hence, protecting me is a duty of yours. You must do it. Oh Pashupati. Kridartham srijase prapancham akhilam krida mrigaste janaha yat karma charitam maya cha bhavataha प्रीत्यै भवत्येव तत् शम्भो स्वस्य कुतूहलस्य करणं मच्चेष्टितं निष्ठितं तस्मान् मामक रक्षणं पशुपते कर्तव्यमेव त्वया
बहुविध परितोष बाष्पपूरस्फुटपुलकाङ्कितचारुभोगभूमिम् चिरपदफलकाङ्क्षि सेव्यमानां परमसदाशिवभावनां प्रपद्ये.
There was a question some time back about the various chandas which have been used in Shivananda Lahari. But Shivananda Lahari abounds in chandas. Many chandas have been used. What I found was a few major chandas I located. Shlokas 1 to 27 are in the chandas called Shikharini, a very beautiful chandas. If you want, you can go back and see those shlokas 1 to 27. Shikharini is like a pinnacle of all the chandas, the best among chandas. 28 to 43 is a very popular chandas used by poets enormously. That is Shardula Vikridita. Shardula Vikridita is the name of the chandas. Shardula Vikridita actually means the sporting gait of the tiger. So it's so majestic. It's beautiful. Then after 44, many chandas come, and the one which we are now seeing is called Vasanta Mallika. This chandas, the short shloka, this is called Vasanta Mallika. Like this, there are some more chandas, perhaps. Now we will go to 67, shloka 67. He says, what happens when you worship Parameshwara with all your heart? What happens to you? Bahuvidha paritosha bhashpapura. When your bhakti becomes intense, when you are so much attached to Parameshwara, then what happens? Then your eyes well with tears, isn't it? So he says, Bahuvidha, many types of paritosha, many types of happiness, many kinds of happiness, many kinds of delight, cause bhashpapura, full of tears. Your eyes are full of tears because the mental delight which you have is not of one type, one kind, but it is several kinds. What is this several kinds? Several kinds means several leelas of Parameshwara. We have seen before also. So the person who is having this intense bhakti experience is reminded of Parameshwara's various leelas and he goes on shedding tears of happiness. Sputapulakankita charu bhoga bhumim. We have seen before, when he sheds tears, his body undergoes horripilation, hair stand on end. That is normal for a person who goes through that kind of emotional high. Phuta Pulakankita, marked by horripilation. Phuta means it is evident, it is very clear. This horripilation is very evident, very clear. His delightful condition is very evident. Charu bhoga bhumim. He is in a condition which can only be described this like this. Charu bhoga bhumim. He is in a place of enjoyment, bhoga bhumi, which is very beautiful. Normally, Charu bhoga bhumi is given as a description of Swargaloka because there enjoyments abound. Dances and music and apsara, women, etc., etc. There is plenty of enjoyment there. So devas enjoy to their maximum when they are in Devaloka. So now like that, this man who is overcome by intense bhakti emotion goes through a different kind of that not that kind of bhoga bhumi. This is a different kind of bhoga bhumi in his mind because he is enjoying Parameshwara's company. So this is very beautiful. Charu bhoga bhumim Chirapada Bhalakankshi Sevyamanam. So when he is constantly thinking of Parameshwara, he finds that his feet, Parameshwara's feet, are worshipped, Sevyamanam, or served by Chirapada Bhalakankshi. Very beautiful phrase. Chirapada, a state which will last long, which will last forever. What is that state which will last forever? Only moksha. Because everything else is transient. Everything else will die. The body will die. The next janma you will take, that body also will die. All your relatives will die. All your friends will die. Everything is prone to death. Whereas this Chirapada is lost always without any death. What is that state? Only moksha. So moksha fruit, Chirapada Phala Kankshi, one who is praying, one who is expecting this fruit of moksha, those people, those aspirants, those devotees come and worship at your feet. So that is what he experiences. He experiences all this in his mind. Parama Parama Sada Shiva Bhavanam Prapadye. Sada Shiva Bhavana. That means he feels as if he has become Sadashiva. That is Sadashiva Bhavana. Because of this intense devotion, thinking of all his leelas, he started shedding tears, he started undergoing horripilation. Then, over a period of time, he finds that there are many people, many aspirants who are seeking Parameshwara's feet and looking for moksha. Now, all this experience is before he became one with Parameshwara. All this experience precedes the Parameshwara experience. So all this leads to that experience, which is the height of bhakti. So when he goes through that, the pinnacle experience, Parakashtha experience, that is Parama Sadashiva Bhavana. That is why it's called Parama, supreme. There is nothing beyond that. He feels he has become one with Sadashiva. Now why he is using the term Sadashiva? That has to be explained. Because Parameshwara has 5 manifestations, 5 aspects of his. And these 5 aspects he uses for performing Panchakritya, 5 actions. The action of creation he does through Brahma. The action of Palana, protection, he does through Vishnu. The action of Samhara, destruction, he does through Rudra. Then there is a 4th action called Tirodhana, that is concealing. He conceals the truth from the created being. Well, that doesn't have to be told to us, isn't it? We know what it is, because we are not able to see the truth. The truth, Parameshwara, is unseen by us. What is there? What is the screen? That screen has been created by Parameshwara. For that he has got an agent. That agent is called Ishvara. That is himself. He takes all these are his forms only, all the 5. Ishvara is Parameshwara's form, which is fully Saguna. Saguna Sakara. It has a form, it has a quality. Quality is compassion. Form is whatever we know of. Matted tresses, Trishula, Mriga, etc. etc. That is the form. Damaru. Now that form Ishvara is having for creating bhakti in you so that this screen will disappear in due course. So for that is his form, Ishvara. Then the last is Anugraha. Once you have torn off that screen, once you have become fit for moksha, then he gives Anugraha. And for that action is done by the fifth Kritya, Panchakritya is done by Sadashiva, because that is a permanent auspiciousness. Sadashiva means what? Auspiciousness which is permanent. That is only moksha. That mokshanugraha Sadashiva gives. So that name he is using here. Parama Sadashiva Bhavanam. The feeling of oneness with that Parameshvara, with that Sadashiva, and nothing can be higher than that. So that is supreme. That I seek, prapadye, I surrender to that bhavana, I surrender to that emotion. So this is the highest level. And this Sadashiva bhavana, the experience of pleasure, which he has described in detail in this shloka, is described also in Bhagavad Gita in many shlokas. One of the shlokas says like this, Injannevam sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmashaha sukhena brahma samsparsham atyantam sukhamashnute. Injannevam sadatmanam. When a person unites his Atma with Parameshvara, that yogi who is completely rid of all the deficiencies, all the blemishes, Vigata Kalmashaha, Sukhena Brahma Samsparsham, he goes and touches Brahman. He touches means what? He experiences Brahman. It is almost as if he has become one with Brahman, which is what here he says, Parama Sadashiva Bhavana. So that is Sukhena Brahma Samsparsham. So with great happiness, he does the touching of Brahman. Atyantam Sukhamashnute. At that time, whatever Ananda he gets cannot be described in words. Atyantam, it is extreme, extreme Ananda. That extreme Ananda only has been described in this shloka. Bahuvidha paritosha bhashpapura sputapalakankita charubhoga bhumim irapada falakankshi sevyamana Paramasada Bhavanam Prapadye.
अमितमुदमृतं मुहुर्दुहन्तीं विमलभवत्पदगोष्ठमावसन्तीं सदय पशुपते सुपुण्यपाकां मम परिपालय भक्तिधेनुमेकाम्.
Now he is describing his bhakti as Kamadhenu. He says, Mama Paripalaye Bhakti Dhenum Ekam. I have a unique Bhakti Dhenu, a cow called Bhakti, which is Kamadhenu. That is unique. It is very rare, very strange. Nobody may be having it. That cow, you please protect. There is great value for me. So it is my precious possession. So please protect it. So now he is explaining the Dhenu, describing the Dhenu. Amita mudamritam muhur duhanti. Dhenu, cow means it will give milk, isn't it? Duhanti means it gives milk. Muhuhu, frequently. It gives frequently milk. This Dhenu, Bhakti Dhenu, gives milk frequently. What milk does it give? It doesn't give milk. Amita mudamritam. Amita mudu amritam. Mudu means moda, that is ananda. Amita means immeasurable, something which cannot be measured. Amritam, it gives nectar. Ordinary cow gives milk, but this bhakti cow gives amrita, which gives you great ananda. When you drink that amrita, you get immeasurable, matchless ananda. Vimala bhavat pada goshtama vasanti. A cow is always tied in a cow pen. That is called Goshtha, where the cow is tied and it lives there. So now what is the Goshtham Avasantim? Now some cow which lives in that Goshtha. My Bhakti Dhenu lives in a Goshtha. What is the Goshtha for my Bhakti Dhenu? Vimala Bhavat Pada, your feet Bhavat Pada, which are ever pure, ever free from blemish. That kind of Goshtha, that is where Bhakti Dhenu lives. That means what? Bhakti never leaves your feet. Bhakti means it is always directed at your feet. It doesn't think of anything else other than your feet. And during this thought process, Bhakti gives me great ananda. That is what he is saying, isn't it? Immeasurable ananda he is experiencing whenever he goes through this bhakti. And that when it's not whenever, it is always. Sadaya Pashupate Supunya Pakam. Supunya Pakam. Now this happened not overnight. This Kamadhenu of Bhakti did not arrive in my mind overnight. It has come to me as a result of the fruition of my punyas. Supunya, the two great amount of punya. Great amount of punya was there that has come to fruition, paka. It has come to fruition now. That is why this has taken the shape of Bhakti Dhenu. So, for developing Bhakti also you need punya. Without punya you won't develop Bhakti. It doesn't mean that you think that you don't have punya so you won't do any Bhakti. It doesn't mean that. Not the contrary derivation. It means for advancing your Bhakti, for developing your Bhakti more and more, please go on doing more and more punya. That is what is the lesson. So, as a fruition of great amount of punya which I have, this Kamadhenu has come to me. So that Kamadhenu, please protect Sadaya with great compassion. Please protect with great compassion. Now, this Kamadhenu gives milk frequently, which is nothing but nectar, Amrita, which is immeasurable bliss. Amrita of immeasurable bliss itself means moksha, isn't it? That is the only state where you will get this kind of ananda. So bhakti leads to moksha, which we have seen before. Is putting it in a very interesting manner. And the goshtha or the cow pen where this cow lives is your pure, unblemished lotus feet. And this Kamadhenu has come to me as a result of the fruition of great amount of punya which was there to my account. So please come and protect this Bhakti Dhenu, which is unique, and please protect it with your compassion. Amita mudamritam muhurduhanti vimalabhavat pada goshtama vasanti sadaya pashupate supunyapakam mama paripalaya bhakti dhenu mekam.
जडता पशुता कलङ्किता कुटिलचरत्वं च नास्ति मयि देव अस्ति यदि राजमौळे भवदाभरणस्य नास्मि किं पात्रम्.
Now he is comparing himself to Chandra, which decorates Parameshwar's head. Now he says, Jadata. Jadata means murkhatva, ignorance. That is not with me. Pashuta means like an animal, behavior like an animal. That means lack of intelligence. Why humans are superior to animals? Because of buddhi, intellect. So that lack of intelligence is pashuta. You become, your behavior is like an animal. And you are also ignorant. You have never picked up any knowledge. That is jadata. Jadata, pashuta, kalankita. Kalankita means having blemish, having faults, having doshas, kalankas. Kutila charatvam, your character is crooked, your conduct is crooked. Kutila charatvam, crooked conduct. Nasti, all this is not with me. Nasti mayi deva, O deva, all these are not with me. Ignorance is not with me. Lack of intelligence is not with me. Having blemishes is not with me. crooked conduct is unknown to me. Asti yadi Rajamaule Bhavadabharanasya Nasmikim Patram. Asti yadi Rajamaule. If I have what I have expressed before, that means these bad qualities are not with me. If that is the case, Asti yadi Rajamaule, he is addressing Shiva as Rajamaule. Rajamauli means shining head. Mauli is head. Here he is not talking about the head which is shining. He is talking about Chandra who is shining on his head. Raja is shining. Now, what is specially shining on his head? What gives special shine to his head? That is Chandra. So Rajamauli means wearing Chandra on your head. It's a common expression in Sanskrit poetry. Bhavat abharanasya nasmikim patram. If Chandra can occupy the position on the top of your head, can I not become an ornament on your form? Bhavati abharanasya, for being an ornament on your form, nasmikim patram, am I not eligible to become an ornament? That is the question. Now why he is comparing himself with Chandra? He declares that he doesn't have all these evil qualities, so I am fit to become your ornament. That is the point. Now, why he is comparing Chandra? Because Chandra was the subject of a very terrible curse by Daksha Prajapati. He married 27 daughters of Daksha Prajapati over 27 nakshatras. And he was accused of showing special love only to Rohini and not caring for the remaining 26 wives. So all of them went and wept and complained to Daksha. And Daksha called Chandra and warned him several times. But as his warnings fell on deaf ears, he one day became very angry, and in anger he cursed his own son-in-law, saying, "You will suffer from Kshayaroga. Kshayaroga is like TB, that you will constantly become reduced." So he immediately lost all his brilliance, all his shine, all his Amrita Karana, etc. He felt completely bad, completely disgraced to show his face outside. So he went and hid himself in the ocean. So when he did that, it is Chandra Kiranas which protect the vegetation life, which gives nourishing power to the vegetation, to the dhanyas and vegetables. We have seen before. It is only the Amrita Kiranas of Chandra. When you start eating this vegetable which has no nourishing power, you will not have any energy left. This is what was happening all over the world. Devas were worried. Devas will not be very much affected because they have Amrita with them. But humans and other animals don't have that privilege. So they were all affected. So Devas went and told Parameshwara. So Parameshwara, in the meantime, directed that Chandra should do tapas. So Chandra went and did intense tapas. As a result of that tapas, Parameshwara appeared before him, and out of sheer compassion, he put him on his head, and he reversed the curse of Daksha, not completely not complete reversal. He partially modified that curse and said that curse will operate for 15 days. That means your power will keep on reducing for 15 days in the Krishna Paksha, and your power will keep on increasing for the next 15 days in the Shukla Paksha. This is what we are now having. So when you can do that to Chandra, that kind of compassionate blessing to Chandra, can you not accommodate me as an ornament? Chandra was also accused of another very serious misbehavior. He misbehaved with the wife of Brihaspati, his own Guru Patni. He went and misbehaved with her. So he is known for this kind of transgression, and still you accommodated him. Jadata Pashuta Kalankita Kutila Charattancha Nasti Mayi Deva Asti Yadi Rajamaule Bhavad Abharanasya Nastikim Patram.
अरहसि रहसि स्वतन्त्रबुद्ध्या वरिवसितुं सुलभः प्रसन्नमूर्तिः अगणितफलदायकः प्रभुर्मे जगदधिको हृदि राजशेखरोऽस्ति.
Now, he is talking about puja being done to Parameshwara. It is not difficult to do puja to Parameshwara. That is what he is saying. Arahati rahati swatantra buddhya varivasitum sulabhaha prasannamurtihi. He is describing Shiva like this. You can do puja in secret. You can do puja known to everybody. Arahasi is no secret. Bahya puja. Your puja is seen by everyone. Rahasi is secret puja which you do in your mind. Mental puja and Bahya puja, external puja. So both are there in our Paddhati. In our puja Paddhati, both are there. And Shastras say that Manasa puja is superior to Bahya puja. That is why Adi Shankara himself has given us Shiva Manasa puja, Bhagavan Manasa puja, which is there on our list, etc. Now, even other poets have also composed Manasa pujas. And Manasa puja is supposed to be superior. When we go to Shivananda Lahari also, we will continue with the same process of thinking. Now, this reminds me of a story of one of the Nayanar, one of the 63 Nayanar, whose name was Pushalar Nayanar. Now, what he did was, he wanted to construct a temple for Shiva. He was living close to Kanchipuram. And he wanted to construct a temple. Obviously, he didn't have any resources, wherewithal to do that. But then he decided, okay, I will construct the temple in my mind. So he went through the entire detailed process of temple construction in his mind. First day, on a very auspicious chosen day, he laid the foundation. Whatever is the Vedic process, he did all that. Then he started bringing stone by stone. He started chiseling all those stones, bringing them to shape, constructing various parts of the temple. Then he brought stone for Shivalinga. That also he chiseled and beautiful Shivalinga he made. Like this he went on doing in his mind, one by one. It took all the time which you will normally spend in actual construction. It is not, mental does not mean a quick 1 second procedure. Mentally I constructed a temple in 1 second. It's not like that. He went through the actual process because he was enjoying that experience. That's what he wanted to enjoy. He wanted to do the service to Bhagavan of constructing a temple for him. And that experience he wanted to go through in all its detail, which he did. Finally, he established the Shivalinga. All Vedic formalities, Agama formalities were completed. Only Kumbhabhishekam was to be done. He chose a certain auspicious date for Kumbhabhishekam, date and time, and he prayed to Parameshwara to come personally on that day. What happened was, simultaneously, during the same time, the Pallava king who was ruling Kanchipuram also constructed a temple, an actual temple. In fact, the present day Kailasanatha temple, which we find in Kanchipuram, is associated with this story. It's believed to be that temple which was constructed by that Pallava king. Now, he also did the same. When Pushalar Nayanar was doing this, nobody knew because he was doing it in his own mind. But when the king was constructing the temple, everybody knew. So this process was completed by him. Then he also prayed to Parameshwara. He also appointed the same date and time as Pushalar Nayanar. It so happened. And he prayed to Parameshwara. So Parameshwara appeared in his dream the previous night and told him, tomorrow morning you have called me for Kumbhabhishekam. I cannot come because I have got another more important appointment. I have to go and attend the Kumbhabhishekam of another devotee who has constructed a more splendid temple than you, and that temple is not very far from your palace. So I am going there. So we will meet some other day. This is what he said. King was totally nonplussed. He could not understand. How can there be a temple more splendid than his temple in his own kingdom and not far from his own palace? Nobody told me about it. He called all his ministers, all his Sevakas, he sent them all over the place. Nobody could find any temple under construction. They all came and reported. Then he himself went. And somehow when he was inquiring with people, he was directed to meet this Poshalar Nayanar. He is a great Shiva Bhakta, go and ask him. He may have some clue. He went and asked him. He said, yes, I am the one who has constructed the temple. Where is your temple? It is in my mind. Then he was subjected to great shock. So for you, Parameshwara is coming? Yes, for me, Parameshwara is coming today morning at 9 o'clock, whatever time. Oh, that is why he did not accede to my invitation. Of course, Parameshwara doesn't have this kind of limitation. He can appear at all Kumbhabhishekams at 1,000 places. But he played this Leela to bring out the greatness of this Poshalar Nayanar. So this king fell at his feet, and Poshalar Nayanar became one of the 63 Nayanmar in the Shaiva Nayanmar history. So this Rahasi is like that, puja being done mentally. Arahati Rahati Swatantra Buddhya. Swatantra Buddhya means I do the puja on my own, not because of any compulsion. That is very important. That is, you put all your Shraddha, all your initiative into this puja. Swatantra Buddhya, not because of any compulsion from anyone. Varivasya means puja. Varivasitam means to do puja. Sulabhaha, you are very easy to please. One Bilvapatra, one Tumbappu, one Arkapatra. This is enough for pleasing you. I don't have to arrange a lot of different kinds of flowers, mallika, this and that. No need. Simple flowers, simple puja is good enough for you. You are easily pleased. He is Ashutosha. He is easily pleased. Prasannamurtihi. You are very happy to give darshan to us. Aganita Phaladayakaha Prabhur my Lord, he is my master, me Prabhu. Aganita Phaladayakaha. He will give fruits which cannot be counted. Countless fruits, giver of countless fruits. Jagadadhiko Hridi Rajashekarosti. This kind of Prabhu, whom I have described, whose puja I have described, he is present in my heart, Hridi. And who is he? Jagat Adhikaha. He is present in my small heart. But what is his form? His form is beyond all the worlds. Purusha Suktam says, Sahasra Purushaha Sahasrakta Sahasrapat Sabhomim Vishwato Vritva Atyatishthadda Shangulam. After occupying the entire universe by 1 inch, one of his personality, 10 inches of his personality remain beyond. This is what Veda tells us. That means what? What is manifested as universe is a small part of his personality, of his Shakti. So, he is Jagat Adhikaha, beyond the manifested universe. And he is present in my heart. Though he is such a great power, he has compassionately come to my heart. He is who is he? Rajashekaraha Asti. Rajashekara means king of all kings. Chakravarti, one meaning. Another meaning is Raja Mauli, whom we saw in the previous sloka. Raja Mauli. That means having Chandra on his head. So that Shiva, Chandra on his head, he is happily present in my heart. Arahati Rahati Swatantra Buddhya Varivasitum Sulabha Prasanna Murtihi Aganita Phaladayakaha Prabhurme Jagadadiko Hridi Rajashekharosti.
आरूढभक्तिगुणकुञ्चितभावचापयुक्तैः शिवस्मरणबाणगणैरमोघैः निर्जित्य किल्बिषरिपून् विजयी सुधीन्द्रः सानन्दमावहति सुस्थिरराजलक्ष्मीम्.
How does Bhakta proceed from Bhakti to Moksha? That procedure. That process he is describing beautifully. You keep on your bhakti, but you keep your aim as moksha. So he says, he is comparing this process to archery, to employing a bow and arrow. Arudha bhakti guna kunchita bhava chapa yuktaihi. This bow and arrow he is describing. Bow and arrow has got a bow string, isn't it? Guna means string, we have seen before, thread or string. Now what is the string here? Arudha bhakti, high level of bhakti, intense bhakti is the string which is used in this bow. And what is the bow? Kunchita bhava. Kunchita bhava means all bhava directed to one point, one pointed bhava, one pointed attention. Kunchita means bent. The bow is bent, isn't it? Only after bending the bow you can dispatch the arrow. So Kunchita bhava chapa, the bow which is one pointed attention, on the bow which is bent. Yuktaihi Shivasmarana Banaganaihi Amoghaihi. This Kunchita is a term which is used for Nataraja's Kunchita Pada. His raised left foot is slightly bent at the fore part of the leg, front part of the leg. So that is why that Pada is known as Kunchita Pada, and vetiver, small garland is worn in the Kunchita Pada. That is given as prasada in Chidambaram temple. That is the highest prasada. Not even the garland which is worn on his neck, which is usually the prasada given in all other temples. But here, if you get this vetiver hara from the Kunchita Pada, you are extremely lucky, because nobody normally gets this. It's very difficult to get. Our Periyava, whenever Chidambaram Dikshita brings this Panchitapada Prasada, he wears it immediately on his head. You might have seen a lot of photographs. So that is Kunchita. Yuktaihi Shivasmarana Banaganaihi Amoghaihi. Now what are the arrows which we are using in this bow? Shivasmarana Bana. The arrow is meditating, thinking of Shiva. How are these arrows? Amoghaihi, unfailing. Mogha means which can meet with failure. But these arrows never fail. Okay. Now I have prepared the bow, I have got the string in place, I have got the arrows in place. Then Nirjitya Kilbishap Ripun Vijayi Sudhendraha. With these arrows, I conquer Nirjitya Ripu, the enemies. Who are the enemies? Kilbisha, all blemishes, all defects, all deficiencies. They are the enemies. And I become Vijayi, I become victorious. Who is this person? Sudhendraha, the most intelligent person, the wisest man. Sudhi means the wise man. Sudhendraha, the chief of wise people. Because it needs a lot of wisdom, isn't it, to do all this. Not everybody is capable of doing it. So once you have done that, once you have used this kind of bow and arrow, and finally, after conquering all the enemies, automatically you get moksha. Sanandam avahati susthira rajalakshmi. Anandam, with great ananda, with great bliss. Avahati, he carries, that means he attains. Susthira rajalakshmi, he gets rajalakshmi, who will never leave him. Susthira, permanently the Rajalakshmi will be with him. Now, because Lakshmi is known to be Chanchala, for Lakshmi to remain at our home, Shastra describes several rules. If you violate any of those rules, Lakshmi will leave you immediately. That's what Shastra says. And she is Griha Lakshmi in our home. She is Swarga Lakshmi in Swargaloka. She is Mahalakshmi in Vaikuntha. Same Lakshmi appears in every aspect of creation and gives power to that being. So here, Rajalakshmi is actually Moksha Lakshmi, because she is the highest Lakshmi. So she is Rajalakshmi. And Susthira Rajalakshmi, Moksha Lakshmi, who will ever remain with you, you get it because you have gone through this process of bow and arrow. Now, this bow and arrow parallel has come from Upanishad. There is an Upanishad called Mundaka Upanishad, a short Upanishad, very beautiful, which talks about mainly about pranava. There he says, Pranavo dhanusharo hyatma brahmatal lakshyamukhyate apramattena vedhavyam sharavat tanmayo bhavet. There the bow is pranava. Pranava is the bow, Omkara is the bow, and the arrow is Atma. Atma is the arrow. And what is the target? Brahman is the target. So, for attaining Brahman, you direct the arrow of Atma using the bow of Pranava. So, Atma with the help of Pranava can attain Brahman. That is what he is saying. And for this, it's not easy. So, what you have to do? Apramattena vedhavyam. You must do it carefully. That's why he said, Banaganehi amoghehi, unfailing arrows. He said. So if your hands are shaky, if your mind is not intent on this activity, you will not achieve your target. Even in archery, you need all that, isn't it? So in this archery, he is making it very clear. Apramattena vedhavyam, without any little amount of carelessness, this arrow has to be dispatched. Once you have done that, Sharavat Tanmayo Bhavet, that arrow becomes Brahman itself. That means the Atma becomes, the arrow disappears, arrow merges with the target, Tanmayo Bhavet. So the arrow becomes the target, the Atma becomes Brahman because he was constantly thinking of Pranava. So same analogy has been brought out here. Arudha Bhakti Guna Kunchita Bhava Chapa Yuktai Shivasmarana Banaganai Ramoghaihi Nirjitya Kilbisharipun Vijayi Sudhindraha Sananda Mavahati Susthira Rajalakshmi. Lata, are there any questions? If there are no questions, we will cover one more sloka.
No questions, Mama.
So we will proceed with the next one. Yaka, Sri Lakshmi.
ध्यानाञ्जनेन समवेक्ष्य तमः प्रदेशं भित्त्वा महाबलिभिरीश्वरनाममन्त्रैः दिव्याश्रितं भुजगभूषणमुद्वहन्ति ये पादपद्ममिह ते शिव ते कृतार्थाः.
Now this is a very interesting new thought here brought in this sloka. Now he is talking about a treasure which is buried below ground, treasure hunting below ground. What is the treasure here? Treasure is Parameshwara's feet. Now, how to locate, first of all, this treasure, how to get that treasure. Now he is telling us beautifully using the treasure hunting as the analogy. Dhyananjanena samavekshya tamapradesham bhitva. The treasure hunter, one who is divining the treasure, just as water diviner, one who is divining the treasure, he uses the special paste called Anjana, means the collyrium which women use for decorating their eyes, called Mai in Tamil. So that Anjana, which is used for decorating the eyes, now this treasure hunter also uses a similar Anjana, but not that Anjana. He is using the Anjana of Dhyana. Dhyana is the Anjana for divining the feet of Parameshwara. Samavekshya, locating. After locating Parameshwara's feet, with the help of locating, means the treasure hunter knows the location now, but he is on the top of the ground. The treasure is several feet below. So, Tamah Pradesham Bhitva. So, when he is digging for reaching the treasure, he meets with areas of darkness, isn't it? All that area is completely dark. So, he goes on digging further and further through the darkness. Similarly, you have to remove all your blemishes, you have to make yourself further and further fit for getting that treasure. Because the treasure you are aiming at is Shiva's feet. So how do you do this? Breaking off this tamas. Mahabalibhir Ishvara Nama Mantraihi. Mahabalibhi, very powerful. Ishvara Nama Mantraihi. The names and mantras connected with Ishvara, like Shiva Panchakshara mantra, etc., etc. There are many mantras, Mrityunjay mantra, etc. Now those names, the Shiva Ashtotra Nama, there are 108 names. There are a lot of mantras in Veda. So those names and mantras he is using, which are very powerful. He has already started using the collyrium of dhyana. Now he is chanting all these mantras for removing the darkness in the mind, the ignorance in the mind. Then what happens? Divyashritam bhujagabhushanamudvahanti ye pada mihate shivate kritarthaha. After doing this process, they find the treasure. What is the treasure? Bhujagabhushanam. One who is having serpent as his ornament, that is Shiva. And how is he? Divya Ashritam. He is worshipped by Devas. Divya Ashritam Bhujagabhushanam Udvahanti. Udvahanti means they carry, they attain. Ye Padapadma Mihate Shivate Kritarthaha. Those who attain the lotus feet of Shiva, of Bhujagabhushana, of Shiva who is wearing the ornaments of snakes, those who attain their lotus feet, they are Kritarthaha. They have attained life's end. They have attained the goal of life. What is the goal of life? Attaining Shiva's feet, attaining moksha. That they have achieved. So that treasure, this treasure hunt has led to that real treasure, which is the lotus feet of Parameshwara. Now, this Mahabalibhihi Ishvara Nama Mantraihi. This has been interpreted by scholars to also mean then there are Devatas protecting a treasure. That is what we believe, isn't it? If it is a valuable treasure, there will be some Devatas protecting the treasure. So those Devatas have to be pleased. So you go and please them with Mahabali. That means you give some offering of Bali to those Devatas and you also chant some mantras so that those Devatas will be pleased. Then they will help you in attaining the treasure. They will not give you any obstruction, pose any obstruction. That is another interpretation. So here also, when you are proceeding to reach Shiva's feet, you have to keep all forces at bay, all evil forces at bay. That was mentioned, Samapradesham. Those evil forces have been kept at bay by Ishvara Nama Mantraihi, which are very powerful. And you have used the Anjana of Dhyana for locating, for divining the treasure. And this treasure is the lotus feet of Bhujaga Bhushana. Why he is using the term Bhujaga Bhushana? Because sometimes in treasure hunt, the treasure which you are looking for is Bhujaga Bhushana, Nagaratna it is called. A gem which is so valuable that it is somehow found below the earth. And this process is applied for locating the Nagaratna. So here the Nagaratna is the lotus feet of Parameshwara. So he says, Divya Shritam Bhujagabhushanam Udvahanti Ye Pada Padma Mihate Shivate Krita. They are the ones who have attained the life's goal. Dhyananjanena Samavekshya Tamapradesham Bhitva Mahabalibhir Ishvara Nama Mantraihi Divya Shritam Bhujagabhushanam Udvahanti Ye Pada Padma Mihate Shivate Kritarthaha. With this, we close for the day. No questions, no, Lata?
No questions, Mama.
Okay, we close for the day. We meet again tomorrow at 6:30 IST, and I ask all of you to join me in this great, blissful Shiva flood, Shiva Ananda flood. Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara Mahadeva.